I felt he brought a unique perspective that was outside of music education. A lot of the folks we've worked with in the past who've, the students have worked with have all come from being a music teacher. And Dwayne kind of comes from a different approach where he's approaching it from the outside world, so to speak. And he's connecting with the kids outside of the classroom.
So what happened is that I didn't let that deter me. And here's why I tell you this, because sometimes when we're in band or sometimes whenever we're stretching out to do something different, there's going to be ridicule. There's going to be people who say, you might not want to get involved in that. You might not want to do that. And as leaders, it's our responsibility to say, no. I'm going to take my own path. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And I know there's some people in here today that came to this event, leadership and team building, and you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I'm not a student leader. Well, why do I need to be here? Or I don't plan on being a student leader. What does this mean to me? And so I just want to invite you, based on what I experienced in the saxophone, and with the saxophone is, you might not have wanted to be here because you thought you were going to be a leader, but take this in, because this can be an exceptional experience. And sometimes the things that lead us in are the things that we need to pay attention to. And what drove me to do that was that the way I walked out of that presentation feeling, I wanted to share that experience with other people and come back and do this in the world that I love so much, the band world. Here's why I share this story with you. Because we're going along in this band experience, doing the team building things, building relationship, bonding, leading other people, and being that influence. You never know where it's going to take you. It took me to passion for what I do. And for the last 4.5 years, I've been able to go across the country and do this. I don't know what it's going to turn into for you, but please stay. Because when you have that vision, as we said so many times before, it compels you to move on.
And I think that's a great way to approach it, because, while we want our kids to grow and continue to play music, when they get out, most of them are going to play a CD or they're going to play an MP3 player, and their, music's going to be a love that they have. And he brings an approach that allows them to, take what they learned in music and take it into their lives.
I had some raw talent, but the two girls next to me just whooped me pretty bad. Let's just keep it that, right? And I remember there was Tony. I knew Tony since I was in kindergarten. She was my girlfriend at one point, not anymore at this point, right? And then there was Nikki. She would never be my girlfriend. She was just way above my league. And then there was Jerry. No, I didn't want to date Jerry. I'm just saying, but there was Jerry, and they were all talented. They were all very talented, and so they challenged me to keep growing. And I think I challenged one time, and I probably had moved up to third chair, right? And I'm not, yeah, right? Yay, big deal. But I'm here to say that it wasn't about the competition. It was about the music. And for you, I don't know what it is, but it's something that keeps you here. And I'm here to encourage you today. Keep going. I'm not naive enough to think that everybody in here is like, woohoo, band. Yeah, so stand up and give me a woohoo band.
Woohoo band.
No, stand up, stand up.
Woohoo band.
All right, everybody stand up and say, woo band.
It's what we get from the process of being in band, and how that can carry across into the outside the music world. When Dwayne brings up the being a drum major and being a DCI and all those, that grabs the kids.
Our first trip we were making out of Hammond, Louisiana, we get about a half an hour up the road and the bus breaks down. Not looking good, right? So they put us up in this gym, and if you know anything about drum and bugle corps, that's the standard: gyms, cold showers, peanut butter, all that kind of good stuff, right? Is it still that way? Yes. Okay, good. So I'd feel slighted if it wasn't. So we ended up sleeping on this gym floor, hot summer, July, just nasty. It was the second tour. And so we go to sleep that night, everybody's worn out. We wake up the next morning, I kid you not, I'm laying on my side right here. I look up and I can count at least 25 big cockroaches on the floor with us. And I jumped up and screamed like a girl, man. Ah! And ran to the, it was bad. Expressions, drum and bugle corps, Hammond, Louisiana. I bet y'all thought I'd lost it. Squirrel. Yeah, Expressions, drum and bugle corps. I wish it was Phantom Regiment though, but it wasn't.
And then to approach it from, I had a lofty goal, and, I didn't quite go for my goal.
But I have one regret that I can't go back and undo. And if I've got my slides right, this is that regret. about the time it was time to go and audition, I was 20 years old. This was like one of the last choices that I had to make. And so some of my friends were going up to march because they'd been in the band. Matter of fact, one of my good friends now, who's a band director in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, at Catholic High School, his name's Dwayne LeBlanc. And Dwayne and I go way back. We were in All-State Jazz Band and Honor Band together. And he went on through, when I was with Expression's Drum and Bugle Corps, guess who he was marching with? Phantom. Yeah, he was marching with Phantom. And then we'd see him out on the road. I was so jealous. I was so jealous. And I talked to him one day. He said, no, man. He says, look. He said, come give it a try, man. What do you have to lose? And I said, I know, man. But I'm thinking, have you seen those Phantom Regiment drum majors? They're all tall. I mean, they're at least this tall, right? And I'm like, there's no way. He goes, dude, come on, seriously? I ended up missing that opportunity. I'll never know what that feels like. So when I tell you that I had some good experiences as a drum major, I made some bad decisions as a drum major. Don't ever let an opportunity that's going to benefit you, that's going to serve you, or that's going to make you better, don't ever let an opportunity go by you because you're scared.
You know, I thought for the kids that was a real eye-opener, because there's a lot of kids who have a lot of I want, you know, and then to say, but did I follow through? Did I really go for it, or did I just kind of settle back and just take what I could get? And I think, you know, going through that story of, you know, I wasn't, you know, for lack of a better term, I wasn't successful at everything, you know, because a lot of the folks that you kids hear from, you know, in these kind of clinics, you know, well, this is what I did, you know, I've done this, I was successful with this, and, you know, and Dwayne was like, you know, hey, you know, I had some moments where I wasn't successful. You know, this is what I learned from, you know, falling down, and this is how I got back up so I could move forward and really improve and move on from there. When Dwayne's entering the saxophone into the equation with the students, you know, firsthand he engages them, you know, because he's one of them. He's playing, you know, they play. He uses it as a tool to push examples across.
Whenever you picked up your horn, whether that's trumpet, clarinet, whatever your instrument is, you know, you picked it up, and we all pretty much sounded the same way when we first started, right? Right? Some of you are like, no, I was good. All right? But we all sounded that way to some extent. And me, I don't know about you guys, especially, where are my saxophone players? All right, good. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you do this on clarinet, it would look as cool. But it wasn't really about playing the saxophone well for me at first. It was about looking good, right? So I'd stand in front of the mirror. I'd be like, with that note, I'd be like. Right? I just sit there making these funny faces, you know. And I was a little skinny guy, right? I was a little skinny guy, and so one time I was doing that, and I just got tired of it because I'm ADHD. I'm a squirrel, you know. And it just, I do that, and then so one time I put my saxophone down, and I'm all skinny and, you know, like a string bean. I mean, I'm just a little bitty guy, and I'm standing in the mirror. I was probably late junior high, and I'm standing there in the mirror, and I'm because I've been working out a little bit, right?
Oh yeah.
So I've been working out a little bit, right? And so I sat there, and I was in the mirror, and I was like. And about this time I went, oh. And I look over, and it's my mom. And she says, dude, you need to stop that. You look like a coat hanger. And remember, as leaders, if you aspire to leadership, or if you are leadership, you owe it to the people around you to set the example. I said earlier that leadership is about vision, and it is. It is about vision, and part of that vision is being able to see things that the people around you can't. They don't know why they should practice. They don't know what good's going to come from it. You know, these freshmen coming into band may have never seen what the fruit of a marching band show is. You owe it to them to be able to show them and to give them that courage, that enthusiasm.
You know, not only do you need to practice, but this is why you would practice. You know, it's a great lesson to learn. You know, we practice for a reason. How do you apply it? Well, this is how you apply it, and the saxophone becomes a very outstanding teaching tool.
But we have a vision. We're excited. Vision's easy to get. Everybody pretty much comes to the table with a vision. They wanted to start. They wanted to play. They wanted to be a part of it. But when it starts to get hard, they take their eye off the vision. Here's the secret, y'all. If you have that vision, nurture it. Stay around people like this. Get involved. And what happens is that vision stays strong. And so when people pick on you or things get tough, they say, no, 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 no. You're not quitting. You're not giving up. You're coming with us. And here's what happens. You stay around long enough, and I don't practice these things all the time because I want to be pure. If I mess up, I mess up, and you can laugh at me, and that's fine. All right? But here's what happens. We learn how to play one scale. And we're all excited. And we go to our band director and we say, man, check this out. Watch this, I'm cool. He says, that's really good. Now you got 12 more to learn. You're like, oh, dude, it took me 3 weeks to learn that. And you're like, okay, well, I'll go back to the drawing board. But you went back to the drawing board to learn. But some people did what? They quit. They gave up. But not you. You go on. And so... Do I do that to impress you?
Yes.
Yes, give me a hand. Give me a hand. Now, I don't do that to impress you. I do that to impress upon you that practice time is never a waste of time. Because what you practice and what you invest time in and what you spend time doing stays with you. I don't sit here and practice my scales every single day. I don't even do it before I come up and do a performance because I put that time in. So I want to encourage you. If you will simply put the time in, you will see the results and they will not leave you. I'm going to prove that a little bit more here in just a second. But invest that time. It will not leave you. But here's the important part. Whether you're a student leader by title in here yet or not, you owe it to every person sitting around you to be the best musician that you can, especially if you're going to be or are a student leader.